Hi everyone, Siobhan here. In this video, I'd like to chat to you about endometriosis. I've studied endometriosis from a Western medicine point of view as a midwife, from a Chinese medicine point of view, and over the last 30 odd years, I have my own point of view on endometriosis. And in this video, I want to chat to you about all of that and how I can support you. From a Western medicine point of view, endometriosis is recognized as cells very similar to the cells in the lining of your womb, being in places outside of your womb or uterus, usually in the pelvic cavity, and these cells respond to hormones. So usually for any women watching this, usually you will notice around the time when your period is due will be a time when you'll have more significant pain and symptoms. My heart goes out to you. I know this is a very challenging medical condition to have. And symptoms can include very painful periods, bowel issues. It depends where the endometriosis is. If the endometriosis is on your ovary, it can cause a cyst called an endometrioma, and that can cause, again, problems around ovulation and problems of period time. It can also cause painful sex, which is counterproductive when trying to have a baby. It can cause bowel issues, fatigue, and a lot of stress. From a Western medicine point of view, there are 4 grades of endometriosis, grade 1 to 4. Grade 1 is seen as the mildest form of endometriosis, and grade 4 is seen as the most severe form of endometriosis. From a Western medicine point of view, there are different treatments. The most common treatment is the birth control pill, again, which is counterproductive if you're trying to have a baby. I have to say I'm not a fan of it for many reasons, of synthetic hormones generally. Also, sometimes they give an injection such as decapeptyl, which will put you into a false menopause, again, which isn't ideal if you're trying to get pregnant. And sometimes they'll do a laparoscopy and they'll remove the endometriosis. The endometriosis does always tend to come back again. I recognize it's like pulling a hair on your chin, it'll come back. So my aim is to try and treat the endometriosis from the root cause out. So I've spent decades looking into this on how I can support you to transform and treat the endometriosis so you can be free of this. So as many of you know, I studied Chinese medicine for many years, and from a Chinese medicine point of view, endometriosis is recognized as blood stagnation in the womb and in the pelvic cavity, and basically meaning that the blood is stagnant and not moving. Also, for any women watching this that have other conditions such as fibroids, clotted periods, stagnation, and painful periods generally, this information will also be relevant to yourselves. From a Chinese medicine point of view, the liver channel moves the qi and the energy in the body, which is the blood and energy in your body. The liver channel moves blood to the uterus. It moves energy in the digestive system. This channel comes up along through the chest area, through your neck and shoulders, and right up to the eye. So if the energy isn't moving sufficiently in this channel, it will cause stagnation. In Chinese medicine, every organ is linked to an emotion, and the emotion linked to the liver channel is the emotion of blocked creativity. It's if a woman feels more frustrated, feels maybe irritable and angry, but if that is held in. So with women, and you might relate to this, the woman might feel premenstrual tension. And again, because this channel comes up along through the breast area, you might feel breast tenderness, feeling suppressed and held in, tension neck and shoulders. And sometimes you might even notice a tension headache coming up to your eye area. And you might feel this stagnation and pain and irritable bowel-like symptoms before your period even comes. And when the period comes, then the periods tend to be clotty, heavy, thick. Sometimes there's spotting blood. So my aim is then to clear this stagnation. So by treating your endometriosis, you will also find concurrently your PMT symptoms subside. You feel more energy, you feel more inner joy. You feel your bowel issues are improving, less headaches, you're sleeping better. So everything should heal simultaneously. From my nature point of view, nature is my biggest teacher with all this. It's like trying to plant a seed in the ground, and the ground is mucky and marshy. This is how I see endometriosis. So, like nature, if the ground is mucky and marshy and sticky, it's very hard to nourish that seed and help that seed to grow. So, with endometriosis or even fibroids or stagnant period, my aim is to help you to get a bright red period with no clots. So, having a bright red period is going to make you much more fertile. And then the blood makes the body fluid. So if you have a bright red period, it in turn means that your egg white is going to be clearer. I'm seeing a big correlation with endometriosis and so-called poor egg quality and low AMH. So again, that concept, if the blood is thick and clotty and stagnant, it's very hard to nourish and grow a seed in that environment. And this is the same for your egg. Once the period becomes brighter red, the egg quality and AMH will improve. That's generally what I see. So what's the cause of the endometriosis? In Western medicine, there is no cause. I believe there's always a cause, and my aim is always to get to the root issue. So for me, the cause is always stress, usually subconscious stress. As many of you have heard me saying, the mind is in the blood and the blood makes the body fluid. So if we are feeling stuck and rigid and caught in our mind, this is going to reflect in body fluids that are stuck and rigid and caught. This is the main cause of endometriosis that I'm seeing. Your womb intelligence is incredible. It's not bad luck. It's not a coincidence. The nature of your body is supporting you. What I've come to recognize is if we feel stress in our head, what goes on in our head is reflected in the base of our bodies. Your womb is trying to contain this. It's trying to show you where the stress is, what's being held. But unfortunately, we've lost the wisdom to understand this. The stress, as I say, is usually subconscious. I understand it to be ancestral. Again, it's why endometriosis is often seen running from one family to the next. So what I'm recognizing is it's the stress carried generationally from one generation to the next. So my aim is to help you understand where this stress is coming from, to acknowledge it and transform it. There's two main types of women that I see, while of course everyone's an individual. The main type of woman that I see is what I call the golden girl in the family. For any women watching this, you might relate to this. It's the woman that I see that's very organized, gives a lot to help others. In your own family, you're the one that's always trying to organize things, perfection tendency, control, organize, get on top of things. And you will have also usually a job that matches this. In a job of management or self-employed, a lot of responsibility, a lot of expectation. And this can keep your energy up in your head, and it can prevent you from giving time to yourself and opening your heart to yourself. So a lot of women I'm seeing are shutting their hearts down to themselves and operating from their heads. You might, as I say, relate, and this is reflected in your womb, in your body intelligence. So my aim is helping you to love yourself more, acknowledge where this stress lies, and to help you, give you unique techniques to help you, to support you to transform this stress. Another type of woman that I see is what I call the empath in the family that feels misunderstood. So again, for any women watching this, if you're a very sensitive nature and often felt misunderstood, and it's led maybe even sometimes to people pleasing and not putting yourself first, and then shutting your heart down a bit to protect yourself. I do understand this. I've been through a journey with this myself. And so again, the nature of who you are is about opening your heart to yourself and your creative truth, and you being authentically you, and letting your sensitivity shine through, and being authentically you, feeling the feelings. We're often holding on to feelings. We're in a culture of, where we don't express our feelings and they're held in. And this held in feeling can make us feel blocked. And this in turn will trigger more stagnation in the blood and in the body fluids. So to summarize this, my work is around helping you to transform your stress. So this in turn can ease up the body fluids so that you should have brighter periods, less stagnation, more energy, and be less tired. Some practical tips to help you are eating healthy foods, inflammatory foods such as wheat and dairy and sugar, too much red meat or too much alcohol, or as I say, sugar, will trigger the inflammation. I recognize it's not the cause, but it will feed the inflammation. Castor oil packs are very beneficial. It will help you to soften the endometriosis, any adhesions, any cysts, any clots from the outside in. There is information on my website under the new patient section on how to use a castor oil pack, and this will help you with the endometriosis to soften the blood, to soften the clots and the stagnation. Smoking isn't good, of course, because it's going to cause more stagnation and we're not getting as much oxygen to the blood. Antioxidants are beneficial. I am a fan of an antioxidant called pycnogenol. It's also called pine bark extract. It's just the extract of a pine bark tree. It's completely natural, and again, it helps you to move the blood. Also, foods like blueberries, fish oil, garlic, these will naturally help to move and thin out your blood. I hope you found this beneficial, and if I can support you in any way, I've treated many women over the last 30 years with all different grades of endometriosis to be successful, both in helping with their period pain and just general health issues, and also to be successful with fertility and having a baby, a very healthy baby. So please reach out if I can help you. Thanks for listening, and I'll chat to you soon.